How did you feel after your treatment? What did you feel?
I felt complete warmth, and as we said, like in a bubble, in a really safe, warm bubble that only I was in, but I could feel you, but only I was in it. That's how I felt.
Cool. So I'll just tell you what it is that I felt. So I'll start off with like the back, your back, especially on the left hand side. It was like needing support, having the lack of support around you. But the right hand side there is to do with also the masculine side. So it's like also not having the right support from a significant male that would be around you or within a relationship, and that's also like just holding onto the back here. Then like with your throat, it was like I was wanting just to be able to voice and be able to express, to be my authentic self and not feel like I'm being overshadowed. It's just allowing myself just to be and accepting myself for who I am. Then your heart center was also trying to bring it in more self-love and more warmth and confidence within yourself, because it feels like you have a big heart, you're out to give loads of love to everybody else, but then it's also what about yourself. It's like bringing that element back into you, having that motivation and that fire to like step through and move into it. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Reiki Master teacher.
Yes.
Felicia, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, Reiki. What is Reiki?
So Reiki is an energy healing technique that works with the chakras and also with the aura. So it's like when there are elements that's within the body, it's actually produced from how our energy centers are. So we have 7 main energy centers that run along the spine. And Reiki can be done on, like hands-on or hands-off, so like at a distance. And what the aim of it is to create a healing space for that person to create and allow themselves to be healed and bring balance towards their own body. So different things can come up. It works with the mind, both emotional and mental, the spiritual and also physical. So there isn't like no restrictions to Reiki. It works with everything and anything, just helping to bring some balance and harmony to the body.
Yeah.
So, tell me, how did you get into Reiki?
So my mum is actually a Reiki practitioner. So when she was learning Reiki, I was her guinea pig while she was practicing on me. Energy work and spiritual work runs in the family, so it's just natural. It's found its way down to me. Then about 5 years ago, it started to find me again, and then Reiki, I just done the Reiki 1 course in the August 5 years ago. And then this is me now.
2020.
Yes.
Very impressive.
So Reiki 1 was the August, October was Reiki 2. I opened up my business in Reiki in October, and then the following September I did my Reiki Master teacher training.
So you mentioned there about doing the Reiki Level 1, Level 2 and the Master teacher. So is Reiki Level 1, is that a mandatory qualification that you have to do to become a Reiki teacher?
Yes, so Reiki 1 is kind of like the foundations, it's the introduction, it's learning about where Reiki is originated from. So it's a Japanese healing technique that's come from Japan. You learn about the history, and kind of like open yourself up to the energies. It's something that we always have, but it's like done through attunements. Then Reiki 2 is recommended that you will start it 3 months later. And that's where you can start to do it as a business. So you take the next level up, which would be, it would be like you learn the Reiki symbols. So there's 4 symbols in Reiki, and in Reiki 2, you learn the first 3. You learn how to do Reiki over distance. So like you not being here, you could be somewhere else in the world. It doesn't have to be the same country, different place in the world, and be able to send Reiki that way. And then a year later, it's recommended that you can do your master teacher level if you wish to go ahead that far, and you learn all the teachings of Reiki and how to train others.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that you were advised to do level 2 3 months later. Could you just talk us through why that is the case?
Yeah, so the reason is to allow the energy to actually settle. So like with Reiki 1, some people may find it quite intense, and it's just about letting the energy just to settle enough, and then when you're ready to go for Reiki 2, there are people that may do like Reiki 1 one weekend and Reiki 2 the following weekend. And because Reiki, when you're attuned, you go through a cleansing process yourself. So it's about 21 days where things start to just, that no longer serves your highest good, will just be like, just disappear. It will start to fade out. Things that you've been putting off will just start to like clear out and just make you kind of move and step into your vibration that you're supposed to be in. And then Reiki Masters, it's all mainly based around the Reiki Federation. So it's like a membership group, or like a organization that sets the standards of how you have to be qualified and how long you have to be at each stage for.
Yeah. So in terms of like your client base and people that you see on a regular basis, are there any highlights in terms of the clients that you've had?
Oh, I've got so many clients. So after Reiki 2, I started doing exhibits at Mind Body Spirit in Birmingham and also Olympia. And that brought in a whole heap of a different type of clientele. Like I've got clients that's from 20s, teens, up until they're like in their 60s, 70s. It's not just like my age range, it's all over. From different age groups. I've got clients that's all over London, over the country, not even just London, and also some that's around the world. So it's not just that I'm just here. And I think that's what I like about Reiki as well, is that you don't have to have a space. As much as I would love a space and a shop, it's that I can still carry on doing everything from home. And it's the feedback that I get back from clients that is that gives me the most satisfaction, because it's helping them and they're seeing the change as well as I'm seeing the change and feeling the change within them as well.
So I just wanted to ask you, because obviously you've done level 1, 2, 3 and you're now a master. In terms of the monetary cost, I mean, just talk us through how much it would cost somebody to do this, because if anyone's interested in it.
Yeah. So for Reiki 1, the average price is about $175 for a weekend course. So it's not just like you can't do it online. It has to be in-person contact hours. It's about 6 to 8 hours on a Saturday, on a Sunday. But those that can't do it on a weekend, I tend to make space for them so it fits around them, so they're still able to do the training. Reiki 2's average price is about $250, just based around the country. And again, that is another weekend course. Master course has probably the most variance in the prices, is because some people offer it as a retreat. So like people may go to like Glastonbury or somewhere that's got high vibration, and they will do that. So my master course, I don't do the retreat. I just teach the course. It's like $400 just for the masters, and that's over 4 days. Whereas a retreat, you could be looking up to about 1,000, 1,002 for the master course.
Because obviously they've got accommodation, haven't they? So to work and obviously feeding, etc. So
Yeah,
I can see why the cost would mount up and things like that.
yeah. So it can add up depending on where it is that you're going and who it is you're doing with and stuff like that.
Sure, great.
And have you got any highlights or any special achievements since you're being a practitioner?
Yeah, so this is my 5th year in my business, and last week Wednesday, exactly a week ago, I got an award for the best holistic wellbeing company for 2020, and that I didn't even know how to take it. I'm probably still in shock from it because there's been so many things of where you're like, oh, is this really worth it? Am I like doing the right thing? Am I on the right path? Like, even as a spiritual, you do ask yourself those questions, and it's just like, oh, what else shall I do? And then all of a sudden this award has come through, and it's just like, wow, like somebody nominated me, and I don't know who it was that nominated me. So that came through, and that is just like one of, at the moment, the biggest achievements. Not only is it I'm international in terms of the work I do, but getting that award for small medium business enterprises in the UK. So
Yeah.
that's my greatest achievement at the moment.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just going to touch on the low lives. Was there any low points within your career where you've turned around and said, you know what, I don't think I want to do this anymore?
Yeah, definitely. That comes like with anything. So like in the last 2 years, I literally took the leap of faith. I was working at Heathrow. I was seeing clients on and off 3 years prior, and work was just like really just getting me down, and I was just like, am I going to do this or am I not? And it was after my last exhibit in Olympia, I went off to Glastonbury, which is the heart center of the world, the heart chakra. And the next week I went into work and I was just like, I quit. And then I left there and I felt all great. New set of clients were flowing through, and in the last year it's probably been more of a grieving process of probably where I thought, okay, maybe this isn't the right thing for me. It's because there was friends that I was working with and we was doing a lot of work together, and then things just didn't start to happen and business really died down. And then it was almost becoming quite a struggle. And then it was literally May this year, beginning of May would have been a complete year of the cycle of where our business has been so low that everything has just literally just picked back up, and it's like, no, you're ready, we're giving it back to you, and then like everything is just flying towards me. But yeah, last year was a really tough year, looking at it business wise, and it was just so many things. Because I'm also mobile, my car died as well, so it was like traveling all around London, trying to go to events and hiring cars to try and do it. It was almost like everything was there to try and stop me. And it was just trying to, like, you keep forging. There's only so many times that you can continue to forge through, and hoping that you're just going to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And thankfully, all that
COVID's
forging,
obviously worked for you, right?
it has. It's like COVID is just as sad that it is, and like I know a few of my clients have lost family due to COVID, and even my own family has lost members to it. But with the increase of mental health, a lot of people are trying to find something holistically rather than trying to get some sort of medication and get them to reconnect to yourself, because of COVID, this is probably the most people have been stuck with themselves or not being able to see other people, and it's kind of a new learning for others, and I feel like that's why. And then it's just people just recommending, and here I am today.
Okay, so for your Reiki business as a practitioner, where can people find you? How can people reach out to you?
So they can find me on, I'm on like nearly every media. So there's Facebook, Instagram, Google. It's just searching Shimmering Lights or Shimmering Light Therapies. That would come up and it would appear on Google, on Instagram, on Facebook, where they'll also find other things that I do as well.
Yeah.
That's there. And that's probably the best way, and everything is online.
Okay. All right.
Thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Felicia.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Felicia.